Hey, well, good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the Brothas-in-law. We got another good show lined up for you tonight. Um, but if you're new to our channel, my name is Corey. I'm a former Virginia State police officer and retired Navy Chief Petty Officer. And, on this channel, we talk about police involved incidents that occur around the country. And we just give our analysis or our take on what happened during that process. And we just, try to make sense of it and see whether the officer acted as a reasonable officer. We also come up with a very unique acronym called CALM: comply, answer questions, listen, and move on. And we look at the actions of the citizens to see if they follow that acronym, whether the situation had turned out differently. Now we all know, yeah, you can still comply and still end up getting hurt and still end up getting killed. But however, you do reduce the chances of something happening if you're doing these things, and it's really designed for you to protect yourself. Now, we can't help what type of officer you get, but if you're dealing with a reasonable officer, then following the acronym CALM, again, what stands for comply, answer questions, listen, and move on, then that's exactly what you should be doing, moving on. And so that's what we're here to talk about. All you keyboard warriors out there that want to bash police or whatever, hey, go somewhere else and do that. We're not bashing anybody here. We're just looking at the facts and why these situations may happen the way they do. So, again, my name is Corey, and my co-host is Mr. Michael Bradley. Excuse me. Welcome, brother.
Hey, what's going on? Good to be back. Got another good show lined up for everybody. I am a retired law enforcement officer in Northern California, 26 years. Also a 60-year Army veteran. Good to be back. We got a good show today, Corey, because a lot of people have a problem. You go to Costco or you go to those some of those stores, Walmart sometimes, where when you leave, they check your receipt on the way out the door.
Yeah.
My wife hates that. My wife hates that. Okay.
Oh, I do too.
I get it. I understand, people have a problem with that. I pay for my stuff. You checking my receipt and everything is kind of accusatory, but you got to do it. And I understand that that's how it is in some of those stores.
Right.
But it's interesting. We had a good one lined up for you because this incident involves just that. You know what I'm saying?
And we look at it and see again whether the actions of officers, what a reasonable officer would do, right? And so before we get into it, like always, please go ahead and hit that. I had to turn my phone down. Go ahead and hit that like, share, and subscribe button for us. Welcome, Scott. Welcome everybody jumping on over on Facebook. Good to have you all here with us. And so, yeah, man, I also got the link to this video down in the description below, so you can check it out on your own at your own leisure. But here, we're gonna stop this video periodically, make our comments, and we're gonna keep it moving that way. So if you don't want to listen to us, you can watch it on your own. All right. So with that being said, Mike, let's go.
All right, let's set it up. This happened July 23rd last year at a Costco. Woman, just set it up real quick. Woman walks out of Costco and refuses to show her receipt. So that causes the employees to basically follow her to her car and wonder why she ain't showing a receipt like everybody else does. You know what I'm saying? So that's how this kicks off. Here we go.
Police were dispatched to a Costco for a potential shoplifter who threatened employees with a gun in Federal Way, Washington. According to the store's surveillance cameras, a 33-year-old female became upset when asked to show a receipt before exiting the building. After ignoring the checker's request, supervisors were radioed and quickly met the woman outside. As the supervisor attempted to get the female to show him her receipt, she began yelling, "Back the F up," and reached in the car to banish her firearm. During the encounter, the female continued to yell as she loaded her car with groceries. Eventually, she gets into her Mercedes and speeds out of the parking lot. Police arrived and urgently located the reporting. party to gather information for probable cause.
It was in the car. Whatever. In my face over here told me to back off into a car. You pointed it at your face? You pointed it at me. Like directly at your face? Yeah, it was still in the holster. Okay, what did you do after she pointed at you? I backed off. I called my manager. She gave over here. 15 feet from too. Okay, are you willing to provide a statement and all that? Yeah, perfect. Yeah, she went over there. We saw her pull her out of the car. We take her down over there. So, okay. Can I get your ID, man? Yeah. You got it? Okay, perfect. I told somebody to come over here. Yeah. Okay, can you stick around for a second? Yeah, no problem. Sir, you guys have like
Okay, real quick, based on the information that these officers have, this woman walked out of the store. She walked out with merchandise. She didn't show her receipt, right? So she could have stolen the stuff. We don't know. We haven't confirmed that. Obviously, neither have the store employees. They haven't confirmed that either. So she pulled out a gun, according to this guy right here. She pointed the gun. So right out the gate, as an officer, Corey, I'm thinking, what are all the things we possibly have here? We possibly have a theft. Possibly. We don't know it. No. We possibly have a robbery because she used the gun in the commission of a crime, right? That's possible. We don't know that.
Possible.
You know?
Yep. And so you have to treat it as such. Right now, you really have limited information. So the best thing you need to do right now, or the first thing you do right now, once you have that information thus far, what do you need to get this individual and get them detained, and try to figure out what's going on, as you'll see here in a second. Now, if you watched this before, we've talked about high-vis traffic stops. What is your opinion on that, viewers? Do you think this is going to turn into a high-vis traffic stop, which means, weapons are going to be drawn, et cetera, et cetera? How do you think this stop is going to play out? Hey, Delando.
It's a good question, but that's what these officers have at this moment. And like you say, Corey, you have to treat it as such. As the information is coming to you, you're making your determination on what you are possibly dealing with: an armed woman, a possible theft, a possible robbery. Okay, because if you use the gun while you're stealing, you're forcibly taking stuff from the person through force or fear. We don't know that for sure, but based on the information that's coming out right now, it could be that. So that would be in my mindset right now.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Here we go.
This camera, so it's like right here. Where in the parking lot was it? Right here. She approached me when she waved it in my face. And then she loaded her car up right there in the first stall. Where the key is? Yeah, perfect. That's when I went over to find out what was going on. Okay. Yeah, she went off on him. I was just standing. He's got a leg, so I was just standing nearby to protect him. Okay.
Hey, Renee.
The gray Mercedes driven by the female who was late.
Say what, Corey?
Oh, I was saying hey to Renee. She jumped on.
Hey, Renee. All right, here we go.
Identified as Bianca. Once the officer was positioned behind the car with his emergency lights activated, a high-risk traffic stop was initiated.
I hate these things, man.
Get out with your hands up. Get out of the vehicle with your hands up. Get out of the vehicle. You're being detained. You're not free to leave. Get out of the vehicle with your hands up. To a high risk to the north of U-Haul. She is not being compliant. Exit the vehicle with your hands up. Exit, turn around, and walk back towards me. Walk back towards me. Walk back towards me. Who else is in that car? Get on your knees. Get on your knees. Get on your knees right now. Turn around then. Turn around.
I'm not here to hurt you. Take my energy. I'm not here to hurt you.
So what's going to happen, because you're not being non-compliant, you're going to get taken to the ground hard.
Why? I'm not.
Turn around and walk back towards me.
I'm not doing it. I'm gonna grab my
Keep your hands up now.
I'm gonna grab my phone.
Turn around now.
I'm not even.
Okay, now before we go any further, people will ask, well, why are you stopping this woman with your gun drawn? Why are you doing what we call a high risk stop? Okay, well, she was reported to be armed. She was reported to these officers as already having pulled her gun on somebody. That's what was reported, right? So it's natural, common to do a high risk stop on someone like this. You don't know. You know what I'm saying? To be safe, you have to do a high risk stop, because what if all that stuff is true and she willing to turn around and shoot you?
Right. And now you know there's a possible weapon, like you said, and you know that weapon is probably in that vehicle. So you need to get her out that vehicle and you need to get her detained. That's it. You're being at this point, he just wants to detain her, make sure the vehicle is safe, and figure out the rest of the story from that point. But you know, to be so combative, like, okay, yeah, in her mind, Mike, right now she's thinking she didn't do anything, and rightfully so. But we don't know that. We're just going off of the information that, and I'm sorry I say we, but the officers are just going off the information that they have, you know, and so uh, she's not at this point being compliant. She's talking way too much, and she's just making the situation worse on us. And that's why so that acronym CALM, Mike, is so important. You know, hey, just comply. At this point, if you know you didn't do nothing wrong, then what's the problem with just going ahead and say, okay, let them do the process of elimination and figure out there was nothing wrong, no harm, no foul. Lady, you get to go on your way. The officers go back to the Costco and talk to those people back there and figure out, you know, what's going on. But you at this point, you're making the situation worse than what it really is. They also have to do, like we always say, Mike, they have to do their due diligence at this point. I mean, they're not just going to let you roll off and there's a possible, you know, crime being committed.
Right. And also, let me ask our viewers, is she being compliant right now? What do you think? No, she's not being compliant. When you do a high risk stop, everything that officer is asking her to do, is directing her to do, is part of the process. You do a high risk stop, you walk backwards to the sound of my voice, okay? You get on your knees or on the ground. It's a high risk stop for a reason. We're doing a high risk stop because we think you are a person of high risk that someone may get hurt. We can't take your word for it. And remember, I told you, cops start at the top and work their way backwards. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So we can't take your word that ain't nothing going on here. You're not a threat to me. We're not going to take your word for it. We're going to treat you like you're a threat to us until you ain't. Until we physically see you're not.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Okay. So she's not compliant.
Not
bad things can happen when you don't comply. Okay. She ain't getting on the ground like he said. She's not turning around like he asked her to. She's not doing any of the things he's commanding her to do.
And so keep all that in mind.
Right.
Keep all that in mind. And put yourself in the officer's position and let me know what you would charge her with.
Yeah. Now, like you said, Corey, as far as she's concerned, she didn't do nothing wrong. You know what I'm saying? But you have to understand, the officers don't know that, and they have to find that out for themselves.
Correct.
Okay. All right, here we go.
Bianca continued to actively resist, which caused the officer's body camera to get knocked to the ground.
On the ground? I'm just standing here talking to you. Listen, look at what you're doing. I'm just standing here. I'm sitting.
Lay on your stomach.
I can't. I can't.
Lay on your stomach.
I'm not even resisting you.
Get on your stomach. Stop resisting.
Why did you have to do all that when I was just standing there talking to you? That's wild. I'm not slipping anything. Stop trying to get your hand out. Why would I do that?
Hey,
I don't know. Why would you do that?
everything's being
I don't give a. I don't care about that. I don't care about that. I don't have anything on me. I don't have anything on me. I'm hurting. I'm hurting. And that hurts.
Well, then stop pulling your hand out of your head.
I was relaxed when we first got here. I'm gonna be like this now because I've been tackled to the ground. I have a spinal cord injury, and I just broke my ankle.
You've been tackled to the ground because you were non-compliant when the officer told you to get down. That's
Right.
why you were tackled to the ground. We're not going to just let you do what you want to do during a high-risk stop. You know what I'm saying? We're not just going to just stand by and let you walk away or let you dictate how this is going to go down.
Right.
Folks, let me tell you something. When you have the police with guns drawn and they're commanding you to get on the ground, you need to get on the ground. When
You
they're
got-
commanding you to turn around, you need to turn around. You need to comply and follow all the instructions. Otherwise, you are just creating something bad to happen. You are creating something worse to happen. Okay.
Even if you feel, deep down in your heart, you didn't do anything wrong. Let's just, all right, the officers have a job to do, right? Let them do their job and clear your name if that so be the case. And then you'll be able to move on. She clearly was definitely, non-compliant. She didn't follow any part of the acronym. But however, so now the question is, Mike, does this go from a detention to an arrest? Remember, we said keep all those things, what she was doing, what she was saying in mind. So are we arresting her now, or are we still detaining her? And if so, if you are arresting her, what are you charging her with? So leave us a comment down below. Let us know what you think.
Yeah.
Go
So
ahead, Mike.
she's making these comments about now I got a spinal injury, I got this injury, or this is unnecessary, this is crazy. No, what was crazy is you not listening and following the officer's directions. That's
and
what's crazy.
If you know you had all these ailments, why not just comply and not push it? Because I mean, come on, people. We've seen enough of these videos to know you pop off at the mouth, you resist and not do as you're told. You leave the officer no choice but to go hands on.
Yeah.
I didn't want to go hands on with people, Mike. I did because it just, first of all, you go hands on and you use excessive use of force, you got to do a letter. Then you got to go talk to everybody why you did what you did. You got to pull video. It's a headache for an officer to have to go through all that, right? And so all I want to do is just be able to clear you. If you're not the person, then no harm, no foul. You go your way, and we'll deal with the other reporting party accordingly. But you can't just start popping out the mouth and dig a hole for yourself, because it doesn't lead to anything good. You're going to get taken down to the ground, and you're going to get handcuffs put on you. And then so from a detention straight to an arrest, straight with a resistance. Right. Scott, at this point, yes, she would be charged with obstruction right now. Correct. And all for what? And you could have been going home, because now she's talking about, her dogs and she got food. Well, it's going bad now. You ain't, it's however much money she spent is going down the drain.
It's going down the drain. Here we go.
So then relax your body for me then.
Can you stand me up then? This is ridiculous. And it's always right. It's so outrageous,
She's not tiny.
It's unnecessary. It's unnecessary. necessary.
I had the fire department coming to check you out, okay?
I don't need nobody to come check me out.
Okay, you can
I don't
find
need nobody to come check me out. I don't trust
Trying
you.
to twist.
And I don't trust anybody that hurts.
I know, but you keep trying to take your hand out the
No, I'm not.
handcuffs.
I'm trying to turn my wrist. You're hurting it.
listen. If you take your hand out of handcuffs, you will get tased. Do you understand me?
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Do you understand
If
what
you
I'm
take
saying?
your wrists out of your handcuffs, you will get tased.
I can't take my hands
I
out.
You were trying. I just tightened.
I was not. I was turning my wrist.
I'm just letting you know.
You were turning it in the opposite direction.
Let's get her into the
That's
car.
how it's supposed to be.
You guys,
Alright.
No, I don't.
I just read.
Please give me a second. Please give me a second. Cause y'all hurt my back, yo.
That's what I'm saying.
No. I'm good. You good? Oh my God, my back. Oh my God.
Would you rather lay on your side?
No.
Or rather go into a car?
I want to get in my car and
Well,
go
that's not
home.
going to happen. No.
No.
Too late for that.
You're
Right.
arrested for obstruction
Obstruction of what?
of justice.
What do you mean? Were you here?
I was.
Were you here when he got here and I was just talking to
Did
him?
I not tell you to stop resisting?
When was I resisting?
The entire time.
No, I wasn't.
You resisting because you weren't complying. That's a form of resisting.
Are you refusing to acknowledge that all of a sudden you can't hear me now? I'm going to read it to you again.
Oh man.
One more time. You got the right to remain silent.
Can I test that up now,
Anything you say,
please?
no.
Why are you pressing down?
Because I
I'm
said
reading
no.
your rights to you again.
That doesn't mean put your hands on me. I don't have to listen to anybody. Don't follow
I'm
me.
going to acknowledge that you heard him.
Can I come in there and look at the video footage with you? I can show you now. Okay. I'm going to go in there and check the video footage with them before I take a statement. Just then? Yeah. She pointed that at you, correct? Yeah. He saw it in her bathroom. Okay. Now we're saying that. Which car? Or this one? Okay.
No, I didn't refuse anything.
You did. Yeah, you did.
I don't have to do anything that you ask or say anything at all.
We need to search her.
Go ahead.
Okay, can you face the flag?
What do you want me to do?
Face the flag. Face the flag. Partner stands first.
See, this is a woman who she don't have to listen to the police. She don't have to do what they are telling her to do. She don't have to stand up if she don't want to. She don't have to sit down if she don't want to. She don't care what they're saying. This is someone who's very argumentative, very disrespectful to authority. You know what I'm saying? And thinks that everything is only done on her terms. That's the problem.
And it's not done on her terms. That's not how it works.
Right.
You know, again, it's a good question. I mean, I think Mike answered it, Delando. Like, why does she still try to exert authority, you know, over the officers even after she's handcuffed? Because now it's she didn't do nothing. It's that I didn't do nothing attitude. Why are you bothering me? Well, you probably didn't do anything. But at this point, you leaving no choice. Now I'm going to charge you with something. So you did do something. You did not comply with me. You were resisting me. You didn't get down on the ground when I asked you to. You wouldn't turn around and walk back towards me as I asked you to. So at this point, what do you think is going to happen? Well, you're going to get taken down, like we said a few minutes ago. And it's not going to be pretty. Anytime we had to go detain somebody forcefully, it's not going to be pretty. You going down to the ground, right? Or if you just run your mouth like she just did and still has some little bit of decency in you still run your mouth, but yet you still turn around, put your hands behind your back or put your hands on your head, whatever the officer directs you to do, then you know what, you might still just be detained, not arrested, because you still complied in a sense. You just running your mouth. You run on your mouth all you want, but just do what they ask you to do.
Yeah.
Bottom line.
I mean, what happened at Costco doesn't matter at this point. It will matter, but it doesn't matter at this moment. These officers are trying to detain her. They're trying to get her cuffed. Now she's under arrest because she wasn't complying and doing what they're asking her to do. Okay. So that's in addition to whatever happened at Costco or whatever did not happen at Costco. We don't know. Those other officers at Costco are trying to get all the evidence and establish the case of what they were telling the officers, that she pulled a gun on them, that she, whatever she did. But these officers, they're dealing with her. They don't know, they don't care about Costco at this point. They're just dealing with her and getting her detained.
Right.
That's it. So let's keep going here.
No,
Do you have anything in your bra?
I'm not. You're being aggressive.
Do you have anything in your bra?
Don't touch my stones. You're touching my stones.
You're removing your stones. I'm not touching them.
You don't have to remove them to search.
Yes, we do.
You gotta remove
You're under arrest.
You're gonna go to the jail and then we'll let you out.
That's crazy.
Everything will go with you though.
That's crazy. I have dogs at the house. I have dogs. I have animals. I have food in my car.
Should have thought about that before you start acting fool.
Manager to the display car area out in the parking lot. I heard some screaming, shouting, and I walked over to the member loading her groceries in the car. At that point, she told me to get the F back.
For no reason.
That I didn't bow down to her when I was approaching her, and that she knows the truth. At that point, I told her that I was there to help her, and she still told me to get the F back. And that was when she pulled out a gun and set it on top of the car. And at that point, I called the police.
We're gonna bring over this flag, and then we're gonna search it, and then we're gonna go in the car. Okay?
You're hurting my wrist, but then you pulled at it again.
No, so here's the
Why are you doing this?
because you're under arrest.
But that doesn't mean you have to force me to get aggressive.
Stop.
What am I doing? I just asked him to let go of my wrist.
And he's not going to.
But you're hurting me.
You tried to put your hand in your handcuffs. You can't let
No,
them do
I
that.
didn't. Why are you lying? You can't. Listen.
Everything's on video.
You can't tell me what I was trying and not trying to do.
So did she shoplift? No, she bought her stuff, but she was upset because she didn't want to show her receipt, which everybody at Costco.
Yeah.
From what I gather.
Yeah.
You can't tell me what I was trying and not trying to do. And then you're stepping on my toes.
Sorry.
Oh, I love you. I love you.
Okay, get it.
I love you. God don't like ugly. God don't like ugly.
Swing your feet in.
God don't like ugly.
What you think he think about you right now, then, young lady?
No.
Oh. Where'd she leave that? Where did she get it? It's in a holster. It looks like it's in a holster.
But still, what does it matter?
She didn't even see. Yeah, she did like a David Copperfield. Why in the world did she do what she did? She's an idiot. She should have.
Yes, she is. She's an idiot.
Oh yeah, no doubt she's an idiot.
Just show the receipt. I know. Pay for it. Just show the receipt. It's literally Costco policy. When I go to Costco, I don't. Everybody, yeah. It's not a big deal. No.
It's one of those things that you kind of know you have to do over there.
Yeah.
So
it's known. Yeah. Everyone leaving literally show the receipt.
Yeah.
And half the time they don't even really. They just like cool.
Yeah, I have like big ass bodies like 14 meters. Right. Yeah. Right.
That's what they're really looking out for. Yeah.
A detective reviewed the case and noticed inconsistencies in the victim's statement. His report stated the CCTV camera that captured the interaction between Bianca and the victim did not capture a dramatic and felonious assault with a firearm. From the video, it appears that Bianca produces the teal handgun that remains within a black holster as she holds it in her right hand. The handgun does not appear to be blatantly pointed at the victim and was likely withdrawn in an attempt to alarm or intimidate him so he would stop following her. However, according to Washington state law, it shall be unlawful for any person to carry, exhibit, display, or draw any firearm, dagger, sword, knife, or other cutting or stabbing instrument, club, or any other weapon apparently capable of producing bodily harm, in a manner, under circumstances, and at a time and place that either manifests an intent to intimidate another or that warrants alarm for the safety of other persons.
All right.
Okay, so all that, she still broke the law at Costco. She didn't steal, okay, but she still broke the law by pulling out that gun. And in Washington State, apparently, that's against the law to even pull that gun out under those circumstances, because you're only doing it to intimidate the person, and
Right.
you're doing it in a situation where someone should fear for their safety because you're doing it in a threatening manner. So you don't
Right.
have to actually be pointing the gun at somebody.
Right, and here in Virginia, that we would charge you with brandishing a firearm. You simply don't have to point it at them, but you know, if it's in your waistband, you just lift your shirt up and say, you know, whatever words, then that would be a form of brandishing. Hold it up, you know, straight up in the air. Hey, get the fuck back, get the fuck, you know. that you get hit with brandishing here in Virginia. But you know, Mike, she was wrong from the very beginning. Like everybody knows, it's policy in Walmart. What's the Sam's Club, Costco? We had BJ's here. I don't know what y'all got out there, but it's like Costco.
Nah. Okay.
You know, all these super grocery stores like that. And even when you go to Walmart, like I said, that you got to show your receipt. So she knew she had to do that. Like, why would she not do that? You know, you got to do it, right? And you know, so she knew she was wrong from the jump. And now all your food is gone to waste now. I mean, you're going to jail. So I don't think anybody will be able to come get your car. But it didn't have to come to this type of an ending, did it not?
No, you're right. It didn't have to come to this at all. If she would have, basically, if she would have just shown the receipt, she would have been fine. But you know, Corey, let's say even if she didn't show a receipt, and let's say she didn't stop for these store employees and continue to drive off. I wouldn't have got her for nothing. You don't have no crime, except when she pulled out the gun. That's a different story. But if she didn't pull out the gun, and let's say she just drove away, well, first I would have to verify if a theft occurred, which these officers did. They determined that a theft did not occur. Okay, so absent the brandishing of the firearm, she wouldn't have been arrested. This wouldn't have been an issue.
No, and you know, you got to know and understand when you take that extra mile and you know what, can you fault her for pulling it out? I mean, in her eyes, maybe she even said it. You know, maybe she felt like she was being harassed by the store employee.
Yeah, I would fault her for pulling it out, because you being harassed is very subjective, first of all. And second of all, they only wanted to see the receipt. They were only talking to you because you didn't show your receipt like you're supposed to do at these places. So you can't really say she was in fear of her life or she was in fear of anything. She was really just trying to do what she wanted to do and walk away. She wasn't trying to show them the receipt. She wasn't trying to do any of that. Her mistake was she pulled that gun out. Then her next mistake was she didn't follow the rules and the commands that the officers were giving her. Folks, when officers pull you over with the guns drawn, you better do what they're telling you to do. Don't stand there and ask 100 questions. That's not the time to do that. Okay, you'll find out everything as long as you go with the program, as long as you comply.
Well, and you know, Mike, some people will say, you know, you can still go through all that, you can still comply and still end up getting hurt or killed. What do you say to that?
You know what? That's so few and far between. I mean,
it is.
Have we seen incidents like that? Yeah, but I could tell you, I've seen 1,000 more incidents where that is effective. I wouldn't be telling you to comply if that were more likely to happen than not. Okay, you are 99% more. What's the word? What's the word I'm saying? You have a 99% chance of walking away from a police contact if you comply. If you don't comply, you have a 99% chance of getting hurt, getting shot, getting killed, whatever it is, because you don't know what kind of officer you're going to get. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing. Right or wrong, that officer may shoot you if you don't comply. You don't know. Right or wrong, okay? And if you go to court because it was wrong, well, what good is that going to do you? You already did. So going to court at that point ain't going to make much of a difference. You know what I'm saying? So always comply. You have a 99% chance of a success rate if you comply. Don't ask 1,000 questions. Don't, you know what I'm saying? That's all. Just because you don't understand something, that is not the time to ask 1,000 questions about what's going on. Just comply.
You know, like we always say, you know, you don't fight on the side of the road, you fight inside a court. Just, you know, you roger up to whatever they're saying, or they say you did this, and you know, like I said, in your heart that you didn't do it. Hey, roger that. We'll handle this in court. And if they're wrong, then you sue the bejesus out of them, right? If she had not pulled that gun out, and if she would just, you know, allow the officers to conduct their investigation and found out she actually does have the receipt, those items are not stolen, then, you know, could she sue Costco? You can try to sue anybody for whatever you want, but who knows? Costco would have, you know, cut her some type of a discount next time she comes, or give her $100, you know, gift card or something like that, because now they're in the wrong. Now they felt like they have, you know, harassed her, did her wrong, called the police on her for no justifiable reason other than she didn't show the receipt. But once, you know, okay, simple mistake, you know, she, whatever reason they want to show the receipt. But you don't know how it could have turned out, all because she didn't comply.
Yeah,
right?
That's true.
You can only Monday morning quarterback these type of things when they don't comply, right? And we can tell you, a lot of people comply. And we've gone hands-on with a lot of people, but yeah, at the same time, you know, they're not ending up dead. They're not ending up, you know, being shot. You know, they pop off at the mouth, run their mouth or whatever, do their resistance, but you know, and they get taken into custody. But yeah, you got to just comply. I know a lot of people always have a heartburn with that part right there, Mike. But at the end of the day, I agree with you. I think you're less likely to have any type of serious of conflict if you do as the officer tells you to do. Because that's what I always want, man. Just listen to what I'm telling you to do. It's hard for me to do anything stupid to you if you're doing what I'm telling you to do. I can't punch you in your face if I tell you to sit down. Yeah, can there cop? Now we're talking as reasonable officers now, Mike. We ain't talking about a loose cannon, dickhead police officer. All right, but a reasonable officer, if, hey man, hey Mike, have a seat on the curb right here, man. I'm gonna tell you exactly what's gonna go on. Just give me a few minutes. I'll explain everything to you. Just sit right here and sit tight. You know, versus, and you do it, versus, you know, you don't do it. You give me a hard time. Now you force me to go hands on with you, to sit you down. Now, you know, we're prolonging the investigation. Now I got to deal with your attitude. Make sure you don't move or try to run on me, all because you're now choosing not to comply. So,
and
the
only reason those officers did a high risk stop with guns drawn on her was because it was reported that she pulled a gun on somebody else.
Right.
Okay, that's the why they did that in the first place. So let me accomplish getting you detained properly first,
right?
And then we'll go into the investigative part, the questions and explanations and all that stuff. I don't have a problem with that, but let me get you secured first so I can make sure you are not a criminal. Okay,
right.
That's all.
And that's always going to be number one. Secure the scene first. Figure out who, what, where, when, and then you can start your investigation. So the sooner everybody's complying, the officer can start the investigation, get things cleared up. If there's a misunderstanding, it'll come out in that little bit of investigation, and she could have been on her way. But everything boils down to choices. You chose not to comply. She chose not to comply. She tried to make this more than what it had to be. And now, you know, she's gone to jail, and her animals are at home. Well, at that point, they're at home. But you know, did it have to go to be that way? No, it did not. It did not.
She was having a bad day. She was having a bad day, and like I said, if she didn't pull that gun out, holstered or not, this wouldn't have been an issue. You know what I'm saying?
It probably wouldn't be out on YouTube or all over,
Yeah, probably
social
not.
media.
Probably not.
You know what I mean? But yeah, what is it? You really want your 5 minutes of fame that bad, man? Nah, it ain't worth it for me. Hey, what you need, officer? I'm gonna comply and help you out to get me out of whatever you trying to do. And if I'm wrong, you know what, doggone it, I'm wrong. We'll argue it in court. That's how we gonna handle it.
Right.
And the best bet is handling it in court because attorneys nowadays ain't trying to try cases. They just always want to go straight for a plea deal. So, and that's the real. Everybody wants a plea deal. Nobody wants to try cases anymore. It's anyway. That's another topic for another day. But it is what it is. Comply, answer questions, listen, and move on. The acronym of CALM. Hey, so if you do and you're just checking us out, if you haven't done so already, everybody on Facebook, please go ahead, hit that like button for us, throw some hearts on there for us. If you're checking us out over here on YouTube, go ahead and give us a thumbs up and subscribe if you like the content of this and share this video out to everybody and the importance of staying calm. We truly appreciate everybody jumping on here tonight and watching us. Renee, it was good seeing you on here. Mom, good to see you, Mom. Happy birthday, love you. And Scott and Tone was on tonight. Good seeing everybody on here tonight.
Delando, happy anniversary, Delando.
Oh yeah, happy anniversary, Delando. Yeah. Yeah, was it 20 years? 20 years? Good, man. Congratulations. That's huge. That's huge. And so hit that like, share, and subscribe button for us. Delando, thank you for this video. Or I think he gave this to us. I can't remember. But if you'd like for us to break down a video for us, for you, please hit us up over at brothersinlaw21@gmail.com. We'll get it on the show. If you'd like to be a guest on the show, hit us up at brothersinlaw21@gmail.com. We'd love to get you on the show, and you can break down the video with us, give us your points and concerns, and try to make sense of these things. So, so hit us up like always. So, Mike, final words, my brother.
Just remember, even if you have a bad day, show your receipt. I know people don't like doing that, but show your receipt. Don't make.
I don't either. I don't like showing my receipt either, man.
My wife,
but I do it anyway. And half the time, they ain't even looking at nothing. They
ain't even looking most of the time. They mark their stuff off and gone. But even if they do, so what? I know it's a pain in the ass. It chips at your ego a little bit because you accused me of stealing or what? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But show your receipt and move on.
May come up with an acronym for that now, Mike. Show your receipt, stay calm, move on.
That's right.
Go to jail.
You guys have a good weekend.
Yeah. Enjoy the weather. Kids get ready to go back to school next week here or week after, depending on where you live. But be safe. And we'll be back next week, same time, same sandbox. God bless you. We love you. And peace out.
Peace out.